we get to talk about the divine feminine, and that's a self empowered woman, divine feminine. 5D mystic, so we're not on Elsa's journey. No, no. And we know about how the divine masculine works. So, a good divine masculine and good divine feminine, they're complementary. Why? Because they have healthy self worth. They know how to love themselves first, not last, and that's because they do know about the beyond solo self journey of spirituality. It's kind of common sense. It's called being a decent human being from here because we all have an ego self, which is an inner child. So the emotional lifters, for those who have childhood, emotional trauma stuff, and typically it's the divine masculine. No, not typically, pretty much always. Even the ones who think they're divine feminines, but their clairs are simply one step in a direction. They become the 4D. So, anyone who's on Elsa's journey, and I'll use the squirrel from Cusco land. Okay, so divine feminine is not lost in any of what the 4D talks about with twin flame or flames or the oversoul. So, they're not trying to organize in categories because, see, a divine feminine feels, but she also uses her mind because she's in presence. Present is your capacity, like mine, to be your restorative embodiment. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. So I love acronyms. He taught them to me in my interpersonal neurobiology course and my dissociative identity disorder and disorganized attachment course and my lifespan of attachment. And then I have, wait, one more, 1, 2, 3, consciousness and change. Pretty sure I got some more. Mindsight Institute. So I'm attachment trauma informed. And in addition to being a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, I am the woo woo pseudoscience podcast host because I respect the academics. So unlike those who are flat earthers or 4D on Elsa's journey, I have the capacity to know spirituality and sciences. Yep, even before it became a thing. Now it's becoming a thing, but only in the smart academic situation. What I mean is, anybody who tells you yoga brings demons out of you, not smart. They do have the capacity to believe in anything anyone tells them and then not to go and do research and figure out about trauma charges and trauma memory and the attachment trauma information that is now all over the place. But see, the divine feminines that also are talking about the saga with twin flames, they don't know about this either. So apparently they like to call people energy vampires and dark auras, which isn't really nice. Nor is it nice to actually talk about twin flame with the word narcissist and then making it seem like the twin flame journey has a little box. But then again, the people who follow trending topics are the ones who follow Peter Pan's with Wendy's. So they're not using that presence. They're not curious. See, to be present, I was trying to get to, you have to have an inner child, your divine feminine. So use your human name. It's the human spirit. Thank you, Jesus. I learned from Jesus how to be a person who wouldn't cast stones. In fact, I learned as a young teenager or young adult that I was casting stones by using the word good and bad. And I did this. And I was like, oh no, anarchy. And ever since then. So the people who have you think of anarchy are people that are good divine masculines. So they remind you of beyond the solo self. And you're like, no, no, I know. I know about Sid and Manny and Diego. Don't worry. I'm not lost just because I said anarchy. I totally know that as a species, I trust humanity. See, this is a part of the divine feminine. Because I know that inside every one of those people out there, like Pacha tells Cusco, there's a heart. I can tell because I'm not living in a movie. So once you explain to the divine masculine, no, no, I know about the herd. Anarchy is just a way of saying everyone is equal and special to a divine feminine who's a nurturer. And see, this is the part about the tango between divine masculine and divine feminine is we both care beyond the solo herd. Yep, solo self herd. So we all love humans. That's right, you got it. Yep, our perception is wait, we're a human. We're all humans, so nobody's on Elsa's journey. We have an ego. Okay, so we have structure. Structure because perception. Yep, subjective experience. So those emotions that come up and the people that project, it's called the shame cycle, and we have a lot of them on Elsa's journey. Okay, so one, again, woo-woo pseudoscience is totally okay because I do know how our sciences don't believe in us spiritual and spirituality people, meaning the ones of us who have the relationship with Akash, but I do. So I'm here for 5D mystics divine feminines and divine masculines, the ones who enjoy spirituality, and the human stuff. Okay, so personal development, come on over here for 5D relationships. We have fun. Okay, and right now there's some geomagnetic storm, which is why you see me with all my crystals. It's been a long time since I've had all my crystals around. I love having them. I'll talk about them in a minute. So Merkaba, this is really awesome. So when you have spirituality awakening and you don't lose people, it's because you stay grounded in the human spirit. You don't forget that you're a human baby. And so you don't do the, oh no, humans suck, men suck, women suck, and I'm going to keep on saying that. You say, wow, we have differences and nobody's defective from here. Okay, so divine feminine, we don't get lost, the ones of us who stay whole. That's why we have our own divine masculine, active, our mind, it's integration of brain. So we're curious with Krishna Lila, exploring the depths of seriousness, our emotional plane with curiosity. That's called compassion. That's why self-love comes first. Otherwise, I can't give you a shirt and say I love you. I'd be a liar, liar, pants on fire because my oxytocin gene hormone would not be on. Thank you, Stephen Porges. That means I would not be a securely attached 0-1-year-old. I may. The self-soothing mechanisms of Pinocchios with ears and tails, they go around drinking, fucking, and doing what else? Wait, some do drugs, some do a lot of other things, and you go and share with them attachment, trauma information. It's the Human Suffering Love Group. I do that. I'm 44, attachment, trauma informed. I go around sharing, because you talk about things. So I'm like, you could do this thing for your panic attacks, and people then get pissy in their pants, like people do with Nutshell Lady, who online, she shares really great and helpful information. You see people commenting, what do you mean? So I have to put up with it? Well, not really, but then again, yes. Your window of tolerance, if you don't work to expand it, it's like a rubber band. You're not going to do anything about it. I know it's a pain in the ass, but it's called emotional lifting. And if you have that big of a problem with it, it's called, you can go to therapy or personal development. Some of us offer for free our services for the people who are serious about it, not the ones who say, pseudoscience bullshit, self-help crap. Those people, we know they had a really bad experience, and it's okay. They gave us constructive criticism. So that's where consciousness, it's a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. Again, thank you, Daniel Siegel, because mine is an integrated brain. You see my left foot and my right foot, and my left brain and my right brain, they work together because I'm an inner child full of passion, because I didn't get shamed, fear-mongered, none of that. And I have a twin. So I know all about chaos. Plus the city I live in, we're on a super volcano, so any day I could die. And that makes it la dolce vita. See? Look, belief. So what's fun about 5D Mystic Land is we know conscious lover and lovers. That's because we don't get lost. We stay open-hearted as we grow into becoming polyamorous, some of us. And that's because, again, we always speak a truth, not just sometimes. So when we speak from the soul of us, we're telling you what we think and what we feel. Oh, we won't lie because, 3-year-olds don't like to lie. When they weren't fear-mongered, it's okay to tell the truth because you're not in trouble in a way of feeling defective. You remember that you're a herd. It's called the human herd. We're imperfect and flawed, all of us, so we can continue communicating. In fact, in the most of annoying ways, which then, though, allows you to be universally loved, which is what I am. See, here's a 3-year-old. Ask my mother and twin about me, or my younger sister. Empowerment, showing up fully and completely and doing it again and again and again, like the Energizer battery. And there's your miracle. Will you ever shut up, Maria? No. But I did learn how to do something magical. We can ask my family. I learned the right silence. Okay, so now that I'm done with these beautiful cards, which I love, and oh wait, before we go, let's not forget dynamic. I think this one's calling to us. Yeah, we're going to do this. So the frequency of dynamic, it supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency, which is beautiful. So look at how many different beautiful crystals, which I really am loving right now. And then we got Moldavite. Oh yeah, some people say you need to use it to have more dreams. Some of us, we don't need to use it. We just dream because we are completely open to this lovely relational field, because I'm a human spirit right here. Without having had any of my poor inner child being defective, I remain the restorative embodiment. And any enlightenment soul age group Zen master who tells you can't consistently be in enlightenment because they have laundry in their body, they have laundry with their emotional plane. Some of us have what's called a window welcome, and thank you, Jesus, because see, Jesus is the one that taught me how to be forgiving, how to know that you have a heart. And now I use stories like Pot Shop, Pinocchio, and Elsa because I don't want to insult anybody who doesn't take emotional lifting seriously. I know that they need a good therapist because their poor 0 1 year old is, let me out, let me out. And their 3 year old is just freaking out. And the teenager spiting the grown up and themselves. And it's all called, I have unresolved trauma, maladaptive child behavior that I'm going to project out into the world. But a divine feminine knows how to catch it, make flowers with it, and be like, wow, you're cute. So tell me, am I the evil bitch or evil witch of your story? Or did you change your mind and am I going to be somebody else? Which one is it? Do you like the truth that I have to share with you? Because I'm looking at you without any kind of trauma. I'm not making assumptions. I'm actually curious. I'm going to see your inner child and what you're going to bring to me. And then I'm going to say, wait a minute, that one's not going to be fine. Nope, nope. Look, if you really want to hang out, here's how it's going to work. And that's why we're called selective and picky, but not on purpose because we're snobs, not grandiosity. It's called healthy self worth. So I don't need to learn protective emotional barriers because anytime I say no, people know I mean it, which is why I'm still the same, very unflexible, unflappable human being, which is why I'm a stubborn 3 year old. Yep. But I know how to share the space. Beyond the solo self, it's 8 billion people. I don't need to be with every person in the room, right? Okay, so enough. A lot of crystals. They're getting, they can get you really high. It's amazing. I forget. But on that note, actually, so there are some crystals that work a lot of different types of energies, like this one with herkamite, I think is the word. And so if you put too much, then it really raises your energy body in a way that is definitely unnecessary while we're talking. But it's nice to get recalibrated. So this one's for the emotional body, which I remember getting on purpose when it was a big, big moment of change for our lovely planet. It helped me and my emotional body, in fact, and now I don't need it though. So I was just wearing it for a little bit because I wanted to share some crystals with all of you. 5D Mystics, Divine Feminines, come on over. And there's plenty of actually great people out there integrating sciences and spirituality. They don't talk to you about conspiracy theories or any of like, spiritual warfare stuff. No, they're talking to you about how sciences and spirituality, they're working together in harmony, not interrupting you and saying that you're confusing topics. Those are left brainers. They think they know everything. They're teenagers. They don't have bilateral integration. So when you meet a Cusco, you just say, you know what? Here, get the floor. Tell me about your hypotheses, please. I'm done. Good. Really, we were on the same page, but you're going at it the different way. But it's okay. I'm happy to have heard you. Now that we are on the same page, can I finish talking? Because you interrupted me like an interrupted 3 year old. You know, when 3 year olds interrupt you, it's happened to me before. And this was a funny story. In an airport, and talking to mother, her daughter doesn't want me to be talking to her because she wants her mother's attention, which is fair and square because that's what children will want. They will want you to pay attention. And a grown up is tired of speaking to 3 year olds, which is why you wonder, okay, did you really think through having a kid? Because they need your attention in order to develop parts of their brain is important. And when you're going to yell at them in a way that won't be necessary and you shame them, well, I'm going to say I'm not okay with that, but I'm not the parent, so I'm not going to be able to do anything. And then I'm going to see other parents who know how to talk to the kid, and that's because their nervous system stays in a specific spot called coherence. So when you meet a parent or parents who know how to stay within their ventral vagal, they're going to be looking on the external like they're doing the same thing that another parent will be, but I will know the difference because I'm an embodied brain like you are, but I'm curious, open, accepting, and loving because I'm not assuming anything. So I'll be able to pick up on the person's nervous system if they're in sympathetic, meaning that they're a scary big monster to that poor child. I'll know because I'll be scared and uncomfortable and I'll just want to leave because I just saw trauma happen and I'm just like dying inside like this. Just look at my posture. I'm going to want to move away from you because you're scaring me. And that's my nervous system and I'm okay with it because fear dominates me to keep me away from people who don't know how to work their threat nervous system. It's called the sympathetic and I don't have to be shy about it. And I don't have to say anything about it because I'm a respectful adult who knows the difference between those who want to go around lecturing. So on the external, people will look at two people and or more and say that and point fingers, other teenagers. I won't point fingers, but my body will tell me which parent or parents are in their sympathetic and which one is not. And this is because I'm an embodied brain who's able to be interacting with people with curiosity, openness, acceptance, and love. That's presence, my prefrontal cortex. Okay, thank you, Daniel Siegel, for all the acronyms and explanations. I know how to embody it because I'm embodying secure attachment. Thanks to, let's finish with dynamics, shall we? It helps us put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Yes, so when your reality is that you do understand what perception is, and that subjective experience accompanies emotions as well as physiological reaction or something like that, and also behavior. Okay, now I'm picking up on when I'm dealing with any teenagers still, because the teenagers all are on Elsa's journey, thinking that they can go around telling people who to be or not to be. Well, I just be quiet. So, in my instance, the parent that basically asked their daughter to stop talking to me was very calm with it, didn't yell, didn't fearmonger the poor child, and the child kept coming back. In fact, that's how you know the child's not afraid of the mom, because they know that the mom or the dad or the I don't know if there's other words, but parents, so there might be in the future, right? Uncles, aunts, cousins, whoever, however. So we are allo parenting figures. So if a child keeps coming, it means that I'm not afraid to approach my big, big human being, and I'm not scared of them. So I know that I can express who I am, even if I might be annoying, because my caregiver will not shame me, and they will also not enmesh me. So I will not have a tension that creates a self that then is split up, or that doesn't know how to have fun, right? How to enjoy relationships. And that's why secure attachment is beautiful. I'm grabbing some more cards right now. And this is how I use cards intuitively. Okay, so when we are able to go through change, emotional, mental, and physical, and enjoy the process of expanding consciousness, it's because our human allies are all the people, right? Our allies that we got to meet in our home. And that means I know how to regulate my nervous system as a mammal. And there you go. So I'm a 3-year old and a 1-year old. And I know that humans are my allies. And so is spirit. And I grew up with Jesus. I didn't have to do Elsa's journey, because that's actually quite disrespectful towards everything that I learned about Jesus. And it's egoic. You're going to immediately know that ego's involved when you say we're all special, and somebody says, no, no, Maria, but some of us are more special. Makes me think of a couple of books that I read, and I'm thinking, really? No, I'm pretty sure we're all imperfectly perfect for someone out there, and that the governments and, society and all that other stuff, we get to keep on doing what our ancestors have always done. I don't live in the movies, I live here. My perception is quite grounded in my body, so I know how academia works. I have a master's degree. And it's in international relations and diplomacy, which is why I was like, I don't think I'm going to be helping people the way I wanted to when I said I was going to as an 8-year-old. I think that I'm going to choose. No, I didn't choose. It came naturally. The miracle of magic. No, it's the miracle of me, a self empowered woman who knew I'm going to help people to be their self. And there you go. So we get to talk about how amazing it is to be an empowered 5D mystic enlightenment soul age group for me. And the path is one of love. So you get to choose love if you want it. You don't have to. In fact, people, they don't use their brain in any way, shape, or form in a way that says, oh, look, my left should chatter, my verbal, oh, my emotions. I should do some emotional lifting and expanding of my window welcome. Yeah, or we can just expand it because we have no rupture. Okay, so I take seriously healing trauma and supporting people. What I've noticed is there's Pinocchios around with ears and tails, and they don't take it seriously. So that's why we're going to create a community, as we already have been, that says, here I am, and you can be you and I can be me. Don't make fun too much of my crystals, but you can make fun of all of it too, because I make fun of it, the woo pseudoscience lady. But it's not because it isn't a beautiful relationship with this sphere of relational field that our sciences looks into. They don't have all the answers, but we don't need to have those people who are from the Scarlet Letter times. Okay, so the part about, for example, we'll just conclude with the aspect of one, the third eye. Your third eye is when you have introspection, intrapersonal intelligence. So you're able to understand that you were conceived like anybody else. And you're able to want to get educated, right? So education is important. That universal truth that we talked about, creating a new truth. We have updated attachment trauma information. We have updated neuroscience, neurobiology. We have updated every little bit of information that I've learned that talks to us about an inner child. When I see mantles of mental health, they're just using pretty words. I'm talking to you in a way of saying you have the beauty within you, but it's only if you want to be an earth keeper, which means you know you're human, versus I'm going to go live in the nature or kill off all human beings in any way, shape, or form, which I know some people are accusing some organizations and entities of that, and that's why they do conspiracies. We, on the other hand, the 5D Collective, the Council, yes, it's not a special group of people. It's just it's called common sense. It's called common courtesy. It's called being decent, and then it's called getting educated, and then it's called knowing why woo-woo pseudoscience is not offensive to a person such as myself, because actually I appreciate the sciences. They're the ones who dispel myths, such as you getting possessed by some demon when you don't, if you have nightmare after nightmare. Thank you, Patrick McNamara, neuroscientist who talks about the religious self and decentralization and is still in the research labs, in fact, like Stephen Porges, looking to prove and or disprove. And so the ones of us who know that not anyone knows everything are the ones of us who don't put anyone on a pedestal or beneath our feet, because it's called I have healthy self-worth. I know how to discern, because right here I'm an inner child, and I said, I'm gonna call I spy liar liar pants on fire. You're talking to me like you know everything, and I know you don't, because I don't know everything, and I'm not better than you, and nor are you, because I got taught how to be able to say my word, because as a 3-year-old, like the little girl that didn't get fear-mongered by her parent as she was trying to talk to grown up because she was bored of talking to a child, I completely did the same thing. Mommy, mommy, mommy. Okay, hold on later. Mommy, mommy, wait 2 minutes. And there's a way again that a mother will talk to their children in an effort to not shame them, humiliate them, reject them, make them feel abandoned. Da, 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 da. And there you go. And so you're going to have a grown up like this who, whether you're divine feminine or divine masculine, you have both. The difference is that the divine masculines, they come in the looking at the oversoul and just society, and they're already thinking of the herd and logistics because they move with eyes. And so they, I'm going to say, have a harder journey to return home to themselves, because they're the ones who have the shame defectiveness button. And that's why we got divine feminines on Elsa's journey, who don't know that they are just like any other person, and they actually want a golden star for their clairs. So when somebody calls them woo woo, they're like, oh, they don't believe in my clairs. Well, we are from the land of magic. I mean, come on, it's not provable. Does nobody not know that it's not provable? And what's funny is when people try to prove the twin flame thing, that makes me know that they don't know it's true, that they want thumbs up from society, and that's the left mode of the brain who's saying, I want to make sure that's real. I won't accept that it's uncertain, that nobody has proof that it's true. I'm not going to keep on doing it unless I know it's true, so I'm going to make it my mission to prove it. That's a teenager with the left mode. While here's what a right mode person, do they believe in being their selves, Maria? Well, I see a lot of people think they shouldn't have self-love, but I see that they're learning from princesses of Venus, of goddesses, who are not actually empowered yet. They're still, what are those called? The Peter Pans. I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm just going to say that I know that being yourself is awesome, because right here, I don't need proof. I'm showing it to you right now. And then, luckily for me, I got attachment trauma informed. Look at me. And so now I can be a bit of a smart ass while saying, here's information. Are you ready to be an emotionally welcoming person? And to have really, by the way, what are really fun relationships. So yes, when you can have fun, it's because you know that no matter how you talk, you're always going to come together. That's what the human herd does. And so on that note, random shares for my divine feminines. We look to heal trauma seriously. We're not doing it for the mantles. We actually just want to say this. You are worthy. Every single one of you is worthy to be loved just the way you are. But it is about living beyond that solo self, right? So connection, which is why your nervous system is important, which is why being able to hug, and here's the hug, and that's your ventral vagal nervous system. So when you see people who don't like humans, remember, they're insulting themselves. They're misanthropists and they have something that they haven't really worked through because, sure, it's an opinion. But if you're going to tell me that right here, you're like, I don't like humans, I'm going to think, well, you're in a human body. So I'm pretty sure that indicates to me that you don't know your, I mean, it is what it is. The non bilaterally integrated, there's an explanation, and it's not about the alien species that the conspiracy theorists keep talking about or demons. Nope. No, no, it's called non bilateral integration. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. It's called attachment, not security, and a lot more. So keep tuning in if you do care about being in beautifully healthy self worth relationships, you being a healthy self worth, divine feminine and masculine, and being yourself. And then let's enjoy supporting the ones who do the emotional lifting. Because, see, they won't project their I hate humans, dislike humans, men, women, or theys. No, they're going to say, okay, it's hard for some people. Let's see, how can we work with that? Well, we're going to have to just try and wait and see when they're wanting to be self-aware and if they want to come to good therapy. And so we keep working because that's the whole point. We don't need to prove. Pacha, as he shares with Cusco, we all have a heart. Nobody's heartless. And I knew that. Thank you, Jesus. And then I kept knowing it. All by my loan. No, of course not. I got the mental health experts that I got to learn from. They're all awesome. And then there's a bunch of other people. And you can always tell when you got a mantle of mental health, they don't believe in my mystic stuff. Yes, because they're not supposed to. They're the sciences people. You have your other journey. We come together and look, spirituality and sciences, they're not competing. So when you have healthy self worth, you're not competing. It's the grandiosity or the shame. It's the ones who are love dependent or love avoidant. So once again, we return to if you don't know how to love yourself first with your flaws and imperfections, that's unconditional love. You're not going to get off of Elsa's little merry-go-round because you're going to keep thinking that you're doing something. But in here, you're not actually just having fun with it and flowing with the heart of you in the forefront and the dealing with the unknown, uncertainty, and unwanted in a way that's that infinite higher human conscious potential experience that we talk about. So tune in for more, subscribe. We'll be back again. Have a great day.